Hello and welcome to this edition of the Wireless LAN News Desk on April 27th, 2018. My name is Tom Carpenter, and this week we're going to be talking about the announcement of the Wi-Fi Alliance earlier this week of the Wi-Fi Aware certification. Now, the Wi-Fi Aware certification, if you have not heard of it, provides for several things. It provides for discovery of nearby devices. It also provides for accurate peer-to-peer ranging, so the ability to know how close that peer is, as well as geofencing, so I can indicate that even if I want to connect to that other device, I'll only connect to it if it's within, say, 10 feet. So I can set up geofencing in that way. It also includes the establishment then ultimately of peer-to-peer data connections. So I can send a picture to someone else's phone, I can send a document to a printer, I can share a contact with a coworker that's sitting across the coffee table from me, etc. All of this could be done through Wi-Fi Aware. Now, Wi-Fi Aware is not the technology itself, it's the certification of the implementation of a technology. That technology is called Neighbor Awareness Networking, or NAN, and this is actually a specification created by the Wi-Fi Alliance. This specification is based on 802.11 physical layers, so it implements the 802.11n, 802.11ac physical layers, but then it has a modified MAC layer above it. So it's not just straight up standard 802.11 MAC layer operations in order to implement this. But the MAC layer operations are implemented in drivers and software, and therefore it's possible to implement this solution on many different devices. Now, I'm not going to get into all the technical details of the NAN specification today. I'll reserve that for a later webinar through CWNP. But for now, I want to talk about some of the interesting things in this Wi-Fi Aware or NAN specification. So let's talk about a couple of issues or concerns, things we need to be thinking about as wireless LAN professionals. First of all, we need to think about the fact that this may introduce extra communications into our wireless LANs that we're not currently having to plan for or consider. So basically, the way these devices work is they are either dedicated to a Wi-Fi Aware connection, or they can be concurrent devices, allowing a Wi-Fi Aware connection at the same time as they're implementing a straight-up 802.11 MAC-PHY connection to, say, an access point or Wi-Fi Direct or something like that. So don't confuse this with Wi-Fi Direct. This has a different specification behind it. Now, that's an issue then we have to think about with design. So if we're designing a wireless network, we typically, in the past, thought about our APs stepping on each other. More recently, we started to say, well, are the clients connected to those APs stepping on each other? Now we have to add another element because not many people use Wi-Fi Direct, to be honest. So we have to use another element here if this becomes implemented in any kind of large scale, and that is that we've got to worry about the APs stepping on each other, the clients connected to those APs stepping on each other, and the clients using Wi-Fi Aware also stepping on the APs and the other clients. So all of this has to be considered now as we're thinking about wireless design if we see this begin to proliferate into the market. The second area of concern that I have when looking at the NAN specification is that a device that is NAN certified or Wi-Fi Aware certified has to be an 802.11n device. So 802.11n in 2.4 gigahertz is required. But 802.11n or 802.11ac and 5 gigahertz is actually optional. So here we have a specification in 2018 driving things forward with the possibility to get the certification with a 2.4 gigahertz only device. So what are my thoughts on that? Well, it's problematic. It doesn't push us toward where we need to be going, which is more 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi devices. So remember, anything that's Wi-Fi aware or that uses the NAN specification is an 802.11 standard chipset device, but it also supports NAN and Wi-Fi aware. So therefore, we could certify a 2.4 gigahertz only 802.11n device that is going to be a Wi-Fi aware device, so it's sold with this extra possibility and capability, but it's not dual band capable. Those devices could be possible. I hope they will be rare, but my hopes are not high. As you know, I've reported this year on everything from grills to door locks being released as 2.4 gigahertz only. So clearly this is a concern for us. So watch out for that. And if you're acquiring devices with the hopes of using Wi-Fi aware capabilities in the coming years, make sure you're requiring dual band devices in your organization for acquisition. And for BYOD, just encourage your users to understand this issue. Educate your employees. Let them know, hey, dual band is always better. So maybe we can push them in that direction. Now, again, I'm going to reserve the technical details about NAN and Wi-Fi aware for a webinar that I'll be doing later on this summer. We'll talk in great detail about the specification and how it works at that point in time. Right now, I just wanted to bring the news to you that Wi-Fi aware was released in a press release this week by the Wi-Fi Alliance as available, and that there is testing going on. Will you see it? Well, keep in mind that the Android Oreo operating system already supports it. The testing was done on a Broadcom BCM 4361 station, Intel 8265 stations, Marvell AC Wave 2 stations, and Qualcomm Mobile Wi-Fi AC2 chipsets. So this was the test bed to validate that it all works, meaning any device using them certainly would function. And there's no reason to think that any standard 802.11n or AC chipset is not going to work with this. So they could very well be coming to a wireless LAN near you. Well, that's all I have today. Keep in mind that our conference registration is open. You can go to conferences.cwnp.com in order to sign up for the Wi-Fi Trek Conference. Speaker registration is still open for a little while, so if you want to be a speaker, go out there and fill out the Call for Speakers form in order to submit your application for that. With that said, thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next week.